Right, welcome to day 5 of the Teacher Transition Challenge. So up until this point, we have taken inventory of our strengths and interests, looked into job titles, talked about storytelling and the importance of understanding how we align our skill sets with the roles that we are planning to go into. So hopefully you were able to review all of that. The information in those videos, as well as this one, will be available for the next week. So you can go back, review. But with this video, I would say that this is actually going to be the most important component and talk a little bit about the real aspect of this whole journey, and something that I really want you to hold on to as you go through this process. But before we get into that, the final kind of tip I wanted to add related to your job search and you're going through this process is actually to follow up, right? And I like to say follow up and follow through. And what I mean by that simply is usually, especially if you're looking at something like LinkedIn or even on a company site, there would probably be some point of contact related to the role. Maybe it's a hiring manager, maybe the actual manager who is working over the actual team that you might be looking into, the head of a department, something along those lines, somebody in HR. If you can get in contact with the designated person, usually via email or something like that, phone calls are great as well. But if you can reach out to them after submitting applications and doing all of your kind of background research and looking into the company, if you can follow up directly with somebody, that's great. I highly recommend that, mainly because you want to put yourself out there, right? You want to make sure that people are aware, not only that you're interested in the role, but that you are willing to take initiative to make sure that you are seen, right? And you are appreciated because you're important. So definitely act accordingly and reach out. You can share an email, submit something back to them, especially if it's been, a little bit of time since you've submitted it and you haven't heard anything back. You might just want to reach out and say, hello, how are you? I am interested in this role. I submitted an application on this date, and I was wondering if there was any update in the process of reviewing applications, something along those lines. In which case they can give you a response and say, I've already filled it, or we're still reviewing applications, or we're going to begin the interview process very soon. Something just so you're not kind of waiting around, and it just helps for peace of mind, which is the second component of what I want to talk about here, and honestly the most important aspect of this entire journey. It's going to be difficult at times, most likely. The average in terms of turnaround time, and I don't want to discourage anyone or anything like that, but I got to be honest with you. The average turnaround time, as I understand it, for landing a new role is 3 to 6 months. That's what I've heard. And with that, I want you to keep that in mind, and I want you to really just try to give yourself some grace throughout the course of the process. Whenever you are applying, you might get rejection letters or no callback or no response at all. Keep going, keep pushing through, keep your head up. And I know that that's better said than done, but as somebody who has been there and taken the time to go through all this and submit a bunch of applications and fall 99 times, I can say that you'll get up the 100th time, and it'll be for the better. So with that in mind, again, give yourself some grace. Don't let the no's weigh so heavily on you. It's just another door opening up into getting to the next step or the next phase or getting closer to that yes. Again, easier said than done for sure, but do your best not to get discouraged, and whatever you do, don't give up. If this is really what you are intending to do and your heart's in it and you're really planning to make something else happen for yourself or your family, just do it. It honestly can get tough, and that's the sad truth of it all. And it's really difficult that, for educators, we would have to actually make this consideration. But I understand that a lot of times these things are out of our hands. So with that, again, give yourself some grace, take care of yourself, do the best you can, in just really making sure that you are staying as grounded as possible when going through this, because it does get kind of tumultuous at times, and it can be worrisome, and especially if you're considering leaving and you might end up having to do so in the middle of the school year. Weigh that option as well. I know that a lot of people don't necessarily want to do that, and that's not ideal. I understand. However, you do have to take into account yourself, if you have a family, things like that. Mental health is a real thing. People talk about it and kind of throw it around right now, but working in this capacity is trying. So really consider that, if and when these, and I want to emphasize the when, these opportunities arise and come your way, that you are prepared to move in the way that works best for you. Okay, that's what's at the core of it. Really, it's not the worst thing in the world to be a little selfish sometimes when it comes to this, especially when it comes down to our well-being and our outlook, and considering our own futures as well. We impact a lot of futures, of course, being in the classrooms and things like that, but your life and your future, as well as that of your family, is important too, right? And you should honor that. So don't feel bad about it. And I hope that you have taken some great insights from being a part of this challenge, and you continue to support the Edu Hustle movement and continue to build. And if there's anything I can do to help you, feel free to reach out, and I'll definitely do so to the best of my ability. But again, thank you for joining in. You are greatly appreciated, and I look forward to celebrating your success in the near future. Peace and love.